The night sky above NASA's Deep Space Monitoring Station was clear and peaceful when Tom Miller noticed something unusual on his screen. The veteran astronomer blinked twice, adjusted his glasses, and leaned closer to the monitor. The readings didn't make sense. He was tracking multiple objects entering the solar system, each one larger than anything humanity had ever built. "Hey, Jack, can you take a look at this?" Tom called to his colleague. Jack walked over, coffee mug in hand, and nearly dropped it when he saw the readings. Within hours, every major space agency on Earth was analyzing the data. The objects were cylinder-shaped vessels, each measuring about 3 miles in length. They moved with purpose, deliberately slowing down as they approached the inner solar system. This wasn't a natural phenomenon. These were ships, and they were being controlled. The world's governments tried to keep the information secret, but amateur astronomers soon spotted the vessels. Videos and photos flooded social media, and within days, the truth couldn't be contained anymore. The President of the United States called for an emergency broadcast. "My fellow Americans and citizens of Earth," she began, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "We have confirmed the presence of artificial vessels approaching our planet. We are attempting to establish contact, and I urge everyone to remain calm and go about their daily lives." But staying calm proved difficult. People rushed to stores, stocking up on supplies. Streets in major cities became clogged with traffic as some fled to rural areas. Others gathered in churches, mosques, and temples, seeking comfort in prayer. The military mobilized quietly, positioning forces around key installations. Scientists worked around the clock, trying to understand the visitors' intentions. The vessels maintained their approach, silent despite all attempts at communication. Dr. Robert Wilson, lead scientist at the International Space Communication Center, worked tirelessly to decode any signals from the ships. His team had sent messages in every format they could think of: radio waves, light pulses, mathematical sequences, even basic pictograms. The silence was deafening. "They must be receiving our signals," he told his team during their third straight day of attempts. "They're using advanced propulsion technology we can barely understand. They can definitely detect our transmissions." The aliens' silence spoke volumes. They weren't interested in talking. As the ships entered the moon's orbit, their massive size became apparent even to the naked eye. People could see them as bright dots moving across the night sky, like new stars that didn't follow the rules of celestial mechanics. Military satellites captured detailed images of the vessels. Their surfaces were smooth, metallic, with no visible windows or external equipment. They moved with precision that suggested incredibly advanced technology, far beyond anything Earth had achieved. The global stock markets crashed, then were shut down. Schools closed. Governments declared states of emergency. The world held its breath, waiting for the aliens' next move. On the 7th day since their detection, the vessels took up positions around Earth, forming a perfect geometric pattern in orbit. Their formation suggested military precision, and defense analysts around the world drew the same conclusion. This was no peaceful visit. General Laura Thompson, speaking to the Joint Chiefs of Staff, summed up the situation grimly. "They've positioned themselves for optimal planetary coverage. Whatever their intentions, they've essentially surrounded us." Then, exactly 1 week after they were first detected, the aliens finally broke their silence. The message was broadcast simultaneously across all communication channels, in perfect English, and every major Earth language. "People of Earth, your planet has been selected for integration into the Galactic Assembly. Resistance is unnecessary and will result in consequences. Prepare for our arrival." The message was cold, direct, and left no room for negotiation. Humanity's first contact with alien life wasn't going to be a peaceful cultural exchange. It was an invasion. As fear gripped the planet, no one yet realized that Earth itself would prove to be humanity's greatest defender. The invaders were about to learn a harsh lesson about the power of gravity, But that revelation was still to come. The first images of the aliens came from a military drone, and they left Earth's scientists stunned. The beams that emerged from a small scouting vessel were nothing like anyone had expected. Standing nearly 12 feet tall, their bodies were impossibly thin, almost delicate-looking. "They look like living stick figures," muttered Colonel James Parker as he studied the footage. The aliens moved with an otherworldly grace in their pressurized suits, their limbs far longer and thinner than any humans. Each alien had 4 arms and walked on legs that seemed too fragile to support even their slight weight. The military base's science team worked through the night analyzing the footage. Dr. Mary Cooper, the lead xenobiologist, made an interesting discovery. "Look at how they move," she pointed out to her colleagues. "Their movements are too light, too bouncy. They're struggling with our gravity even inside those suits." More observations poured in from around the world. The aliens had established several floating platforms in the upper atmosphere, refusing to land their larger ships. Instead, they sent down smaller craft that hovered close to the ground, never actually touching Earth's surface. The truth began to dawn on Earth's scientists. These invaders came from a world very different from Earth. Their home planet must have had significantly lower gravity, allowing them to evolve into their current form. Their bodies, while impressive in size, were built like birds, hollow bones, minimal muscle mass, and incredibly light. Their advanced technology was everywhere to be seen. Their suits glowed with energy fields that helped support their weight. Their weapons looked like they came straight out of science fiction movies. But despite all this technology, they couldn't change the basic laws of physics. "They're physically weak," General Thompson realized during a briefing. "All their technology seems designed to compensate for their biological limitations." The aliens didn't try to hide their disdain for Earth's conditions. Their second message to humanity made this clear. "Your world is primitive and heavy. You will serve as labor force. Your bodies are adapted to these crushing conditions. You will work. We will direct." What the aliens saw as humanity's curse, our evolution on a high-gravity world, was about to become our greatest advantage. But they were still dangerous. Their technology was centuries ahead of Earth's best developments. A research team in Switzerland made another crucial discovery. They analyzed the energy readings from the alien ships and found something interesting. All their technology was optimized for efficiency rather than durability. Their ships, weapons, and suits were built with materials designed for much lower stress levels. "It's like they built everything out of carbon fiber when they need steel," explained Dr. Hans Weber, the team's lead physicist. "Advanced, yes, but not designed for Earth's conditions." The aliens continued their preparations for invasion, seemingly unaware of how their basic biology would affect their plans. They set up more floating platforms, each one carefully maintained at a lower gravitational field to match their homeworld. Military observers noticed something else. The aliens never stayed in Earth's full gravity for more than a few minutes at a time. Even with their powered suits, they quickly retreated to their low-gravity zones. Their movements became clumsy and slow the longer they stayed in Earth's gravity. "They can't function properly here," Dr. Cooper explained to the military command. "Their bodies simply aren't built for it. Even their powered suits can't fully compensate for the difference." As Earth's defenders watched and learned, the aliens prepared for what they thought would be an easy conquest. They had successfully invaded dozens of worlds before, but they had never tried to take a planet with gravity significantly higher than their own. The invaders were about to learn that all their advanced technology couldn't overcome the basic laws of physics. Earth's gravity, the very force they struggled against, would prove to be humanity's most powerful ally in the coming battle. The invasion began at dawn on a cloudy day in Oregon. The aliens chose a clearing in the dense forest for their first major landing attempt. They'd probably thought the trees would provide cover for their forces. They were wrong. Hundreds of small craft descended from the motherships, their metal shells gleaming in the early morning light. Military observers watched from hidden positions, their cameras recording everything. The alien ships hovered 20 feet above the ground, refusing to land directly on Earth's surface. "They're deploying their troops," reported Lieutenant Mike Baker from his observation post. Through his binoculars, he watched as the alien soldiers emerged from their ships. Each one wore bright silver armor that hummed with energy fields. The alien commander stood out from the rest. Taller than its soldiers, it wore golden armor and carried what looked like a staff of authority. It raised the staff, signaling the start of the invasion. That's when everything started to go wrong for the invaders. The first alien soldier to step onto Earth's soil immediately stumbled. Despite its powered armor, it couldn't handle the full force of Earth's gravity. The soldier tried to stand up straight, but kept wobbling like a newborn colt trying to walk. More soldiers followed, each one struggling just as badly. Their movements were slow and clumsy. Some fell face first into the dirt. Others leaned on their weapons like crutches. The proud invasion force looked more like a group of drunk people trying to ice skate. "Are you seeing this?" Baker whispered into his radio, trying not to laugh. "They can't even walk properly." The alien commander grew frustrated. It barked orders in its strange language, its voice distorted by the translation device. The soldiers tried to form battle lines, but they could barely stay upright. Their powered armor, designed to help them move in Earth's gravity, wasn't working as well as they had expected. One alien tried to raise its weapon to fire a test shot. The recoil from the energy blast knocked it backward onto the ground. Other soldiers rushed to help, only to lose their balance and fall as well. What should have been an intimidating show of force had turned into an embarrassing display. "Their weapons are too light," noted Chief Weapons Officer Linda Ross, watching through a tactical scope. "They're built for their gravity, not ours. The recoil is too much for them to handle." The alien commander was the only one managing to stay somewhat steady, thanks to its more advanced armor. But even it moved with visible effort, each step careful and measured. Its staff of authority now served as a walking stick. The situation got worse when it started to rain. The wet ground turned muddy, making it even harder for the aliens to keep their balance. Their tall, spindly forms slipped and slid in the mud. Some tried to retreat to their hovering ships, but couldn't climb back up. Earth's military forces stayed hidden, following orders to observe only. They didn't need to intervene. Nature itself was fighting the battle for them. After 3 hours of struggling, the alien commander finally admitted defeat. It gave new orders, and the invasion force began a shambling retreat. Many had to be pulled back into their ships by mechanical lifts. The clearing was left littered with dropped weapons and pieces of armor, abandoned by soldiers too exhausted to carry them. As the alien ships withdrew to their floating platforms high above, Earth's military leaders gathered to discuss what they had witnessed. The invaders' greatest weakness had been exposed. They simply couldn't function in Earth's gravity. "They'll try again," General Thompson warned during the emergency briefing. "They'll modify their equipment, adjust their tactics. But now we know their fundamental weakness. They evolved on a low-gravity world, and no amount of technology can fully overcome that." The first battle of the invasion had been won without humanity firing a single shot. Earth's gravity, the same force that had shaped human evolution, had proved to be an insurmountable obstacle for the alien invaders. But everyone knew this was just the beginning. The world's military leaders gathered in a secure underground facility in Switzerland to plan their next moves. The failed alien landing had given them valuable information, and now it was time to use it. "Their technology is advanced, but their bodies are their weakness," General Thompson said, standing before a large screen showing footage of the Oregon landing. "Every piece of equipment they left behind tells us the same story. They're not built for our world." In laboratories around the globe, scientists worked day and night studying the abandoned alien technology. Dr. Cooper's team made a breakthrough while examining an alien weapon. "Look at this," she said, pointing to the weapon's inner workings. "Their technology is incredibly efficient, but it's all designed for minimal stress loads. They've never had to build anything to withstand Earth's gravity. The weapon itself was a marvel of engineering. It could fire energy bolts capable of melting tank armor, but its construction was delicate, almost fragile. The scientists found they could easily modify it to work better under Earth's conditions. Meanwhile, military strategists developed new tactics. They realized that the aliens' floating platforms, hovering high in the atmosphere, were their weak point. The invaders couldn't survive long-term exposure to Earth's full gravity, so they needed these platforms as safe zones. If we can destroy those platforms, they'll have nowhere to retreat to, Colonel Parker explained during a briefing. They'll be forced to either fight in our gravity or leave Earth entirely. The world's governments, faced with this common threat, did something unprecedented. They agreed to share all their military resources and technology. Chinese scientists worked alongside American engineers. Russian commanders planned strategies with British officers. The entire planet united against the alien threat. Dr. Weber's team in Switzerland made another important discovery while studying the alien armor. Their power systems are amazing, he explained, but they're not designed for continuous high-stress operation. The more they fight against our gravity, the faster their equipment fails. World leaders authorized the creation of a new unified Earth Defense Force. Unlike traditional military units, this force would specifically train to fight the aliens' weaknesses. They practiced combat techniques that would force the invaders to deal with gravity's full effects. "Don't shoot to kill," instructed combat trainer Bill Foster to his troops. "Shoot to disable their gravity compensation systems. Once they feel Earth's full gravity, they're practically helpless." Engineers began modifying Earth's weapons based on what they learned from alien technology. They created new devices designed to disrupt the aliens' gravity compensation fields. Simple tools became powerful weapons when used against the invaders' fundamental weakness. The alien commanders watched from orbit as Earth prepared its defenses. They must have seen the activity, the new weapons being built, the army's training, but their pride prevented them from recognizing the true danger. They still believe their advanced technology would ensure victory. "They think we're primitive because we evolved on a high-gravity world," Dr. Cooper told the Defense Council. "That same primitive evolution is what makes us stronger than them. Every human child can do what their strongest soldier cannot: simply walk normally on Earth." Public morale improved as news of the defensive preparations spread. People began to see hope. The invaders weren't invincible gods from space. They were just beings who had evolved in a different environment, one that left them ill-equipped to fight on Earth. The Earth Defense Force grew stronger each day. Troops trained with modified alien weapons. Engineers built new defenses. Scientists developed better ways to fight the invaders. The entire planet prepared for the next battle. "We're almost ready," General Thompson told the world leaders. "The next time they try to land, we'll be prepared." They thought their technology made them superior. "We'll show them that sometimes the simplest force in nature, gravity itself, is the strongest weapon of all." The aliens would attack again, everyone knew that. But this time, Earth would be ready. Humanity had found its advantage, and now it was time to use it. The aliens launched their second invasion attempt at midnight. This time, they chose multiple landing sites across the globe, but Earth was ready for them. "All defense units, prepare to engage." General Thompson's voice crackled over the secure communication channels. "Remember your training. Target their gravity compensation systems first." The alien ships descended through the atmosphere, their formation perfect as always. But this time, they faced a different Earth. Hidden defense batteries tracked their approach. Soldiers waited in reinforced positions, armed with modified weapons that combined human ingenuity with alien technology. The first shot of the battle came from a mountain base in Colorado. A pulse of energy, designed by Dr. Weber's team, struck one of the alien transport ships. The ship's gravity field flickered and failed. Unable to compensate for Earth's pull, it plummeted from the sky like a stone. "Direct hit," reported the weapon operator. "Their gravity tech is just as vulnerable as we thought." The aliens responded with energy beams from their ships, But Earth's forces had prepared for this. They fought from underground bunkers and mountain caves, using the planet's natural gravity wells as shelter. The aliens' weapons, designed for precision rather than power, couldn't penetrate deep enough. In orbit, humanity revealed its secret weapon. The space agencies had worked together to modify existing satellites with alien technology. Now these satellites fired gravity pulses at the alien motherships, disrupting their carefully maintained orbit. "Look at that!" Lieutenant Baker shouted as he watched through his tactical display. The alien ships, suddenly exposed to unexpected gravitational forces, began to tumble in space. Their crews, unused to such conditions, struggled to maintain control. On the ground, the battle turned into a rout. Earth's soldiers moved with ease in the gravity they'd known all their lives. They wore simple, sturdy armor, nothing like the aliens' complex suits. When alien troops landed, they found themselves facing an enemy that could run, jump, and fight while they could barely stand. "They're retreating at point 7, reported a field commander. "Their suits are failing under sustained gravity exposure. The alien weapons, deadly in space, proved almost useless in Earth's gravity. The recoil sent their soldiers sprawling. Their energy beams, affected by Earth's gravitational field, curved in unexpected ways. Meanwhile, Earth's forces used simple, effective weapons that worked with gravity rather than against it." Dr. Cooper, watching from the command center, pointed out something crucial. "Their ships are trying to maintain those low-gravity bubbles around their troops. It's draining their power faster than they expected." The aliens had never fought a battle like this. On other worlds, with gravity similar to their home, they had been unstoppable. But here, every movement cost them energy. Every action fought against Earth's relentless pull. Their advanced technology, instead of giving them an advantage, became a burden. In orbit, the space battle turned decisive. Earth's modified satellites continued disrupting the alien ships' gravity systems. The motherships, unable to maintain their precise formation, began colliding with each other. Their crews, panicked by the unfamiliar gravitational forces, made crucial mistakes. "Main alien fleet is breaking formation," reported Space Command. "They're losing orbital stability. Several ships are starting emergency burns to escape Earth's gravity well." The alien ground forces, cut off from their orbital support, began to surrender. Their suits' power cells, drained by constant fighting against Earth's gravity, started failing. Without their technology, they could barely move. General Thompson allowed herself a small smile as the reports of victory came in. "Send the message," she ordered. Earth's response was broadcast on all frequencies. "Your technology is impressive, but you forgot something basic. You can't fight the natural laws of a planet. Earth's gravity is our shield, our weapon, and our home. Leave now or face the consequences." The battle had proved what humanity suspected. No amount of advanced technology could overcome the fundamental challenge of evolution. The aliens, mighty in space, had been defeated by the simple, constant force that had shaped human life for millions of years. Earth's gravity had won the day. After the battle, Earth's forces began the task of studying the captured alien ships and prisoners. What they discovered changed humanity's understanding of the galaxy forever. Dr. Cooper led the team interviewing the alien captives. Communication was difficult at first, but their translation devices helped bridge the gap. The aliens were kept in special low-gravity chambers that allowed them to move comfortably while talking. "Tell us about your empire," she asked one of the captured commanders. The aliens' response stunned everyone in the room. "We rule 37 worlds," the commander said, its voice translated into flat electronic English. "All similar to our home. Never found world like yours before. Never failed invasion before." The alien databases recovered from their ships told the full story. Their civilization had evolved on a planet with only 1/3 of Earth's gravity. As they developed space travel, they found other worlds with similar conditions. Their empire grew as they conquered these low-gravity planets one by one. "Look at this," Dr. Weber said, pointing to a star map. "Every world they've conquered has gravity similar to or lower than their home planet. They've never even attempted to invade a high-gravity world before Earth." Military analysts studied the aliens' battle records. On other worlds, their tactics had been unstoppable. Their tall bodies and advanced technology gave them huge advantages in low-gravity environments. They could move faster, reach higher, and carry larger weapons than most species they encountered. They built their entire military doctrine around fighting in low gravity, Colonel Parker explained during a briefing. They never considered that they might face a species that evolved under higher gravitational conditions. The alien commander's pride had turned to grudging respect. "Your people strong," it told Dr. Cooper. "Bodies dense, muscles powerful. You thrive in conditions that kill us. We never knew such beings existed." More revelations came as scientists studied the aliens' technology. Everything they built was optimized for efficiency rather than durability. Their ships were like delicate sculptures, beautiful but fragile under Earth's gravitational stress. Their entire civilization is built around avoiding high gravity, Dr. Weber explained. They construct orbital habitats instead of landing on planets. They use energy fields to maintain low-gravity environments. They shape their whole society around their physical limitations. The aliens had another shocking admission. They had avoided exploring high-gravity planets, assuming they were too hostile to support intelligent life. The discovery of humanity had shattered their understanding of how life could evolve. "We thought heavy worlds only had simple life," the commander explained. "Small creatures, basic forms. Never imagined intelligent life could adapt to such crushing gravity. Never thought to look for you." Earth's leaders debated what to do with this information. The alien empire was vast, but had a clear weakness. Any high-gravity world would be safe from their invasion. Humanity had unintentionally discovered the perfect defense against their most advanced weapons, the simple force of gravity. "Their empire stops here," General Thompson declared in a global broadcast. "Earth isn't just defending itself. We're showing the galaxy that life can thrive in conditions they thought impossible." The remaining alien ships in orbit sent a formal message. "We recognize our error. Your world is unsuitable for integration. Our empire will mark Earth as forbidden territory." But the aliens' databases had given humanity something valuable: maps of the galaxy, locations of other worlds, and details of space travel technology. Earth now had the knowledge to reach the stars, and the strength to defend itself when it got there. They thought they were superior because of their technology, Dr. Cooper told the World Council. "Instead, they showed us that sometimes the greatest strength comes from the challenges we evolved to overcome. Earth's gravity made us strong. It's part of who we are." The invasion had failed, but it had opened humanity's eyes to the wider galaxy. And somewhere out there, perhaps there were other high-gravity worlds with civilizations waiting to be discovered, civilizations that would understand Earth's strength. 1 year after the failed invasion, Earth had changed in ways no one could have predicted. The remains of alien ships still orbited the planet, now turned into research stations where scientists studied advanced technology. But the biggest changes were happening on the ground. "Look at what we've built," Dr. Weber said, leading a tour through the new Global Space Defense Center. The facility housed a mixture of human and modified alien technology. Gravity sensors watched for any ships approaching Earth, ready to warn of another invasion. The captured alien technology had given humanity a huge leap forward. Engineers had learned to combine the aliens' efficient energy systems with Earth-designed materials that could withstand high gravity. The result was a new generation of technology that worked perfectly under any conditions. "We're building our first real starship," Colonel Parker announced at a press conference. "Unlike the alien ships, ours is designed to operate in both high and low gravity. We can go anywhere in the galaxy." The alien prisoners had all been released, sent back to their empire with a clear message. Earth was off limits, but humanity didn't just want to be left alone. They had bigger plans. We found something interesting in the alien star charts. Dr. Cooper explained to the World Council. There are at least 12 other high-gravity planets in nearby systems, planets they never explored because they thought they were too hostile. The possibility of finding other civilizations like humanity excited everyone. Perhaps there were other species out there who had evolved under similar conditions. The alien empire had ignored these worlds, but Earth would not. The first human expedition to space using the new technology was scheduled for next month. The ship, named Gravity's Child, would carry a crew trained to handle both Earth normal and low-gravity conditions. "We're not just defending Earth anymore," General Thompson said during the ship's dedication ceremony. "We're ready to explore the galaxy. And unlike our recent visitors, we can handle any gravity we find." Private companies began developing new products based on the alien technology. But instead of copying their designs exactly, they improved them. Earth's engineers made everything stronger, more durable, able to work under any gravitational conditions. The aliens thought they were superior because they could ignore gravity with their technology. Bill Foster told his new class of space cadets, "We're superior because we don't need to ignore it. We've mastered it." The global unity that emerged during the invasion had lasted. Nations continued working together, sharing resources and technology. The Earth Defense Force became a permanent organization, tasked with protecting the planet and exploring space. Children in schools now learned about both Earth's gravity and what it meant for human civilization. They understood that what aliens saw as a harsh obstacle was actually humanity's greatest gift. It had made humans strong, adaptable, and ready for the challenges of space. The invasion changed how we see ourselves. Dr. Cooper wrote in her best-selling book about the alien contact. "We used to think we were limited by Earth's gravity. Now we know it's our greatest advantage." The alien empire never returned to Earth, but they did send one final message. "Your species has taught us humility. We now understand that strength comes in many forms. The galaxy is bigger than we knew." Earth's first starship launched on a clear morning, carrying humanity's hopes and dreams to the stars. Unlike the alien ships, it didn't need constant gravity compensation. Its human crew could handle any gravitational conditions they might encounter. "We're ready for whatever's out there," Captain Mark Wilson said as his ship prepared for its first faster-than-light jump. "Earth's gravity forged us into who we are. Now it's time to show the galaxy what we can do." As Gravity's Child disappeared into the depths of space, humanity knew that this was just the beginning. They had discovered their unique place in the galaxy, not as victims of a harsh environment, but as pioneers shaped by it. Earth's gravity had not just saved humanity. It had prepared them for the stars.